Golden Eagles, welcome back to the Soaring Sports Podcast for Golden Eagle Media. My name is Matthew Vanover.
My name is Ryan Dean.
And my name is Matthew Parker.
And we're so excited to be your amazing host for today's exciting episode. In today's episode, we're going to be briefly diving deep into today's topics, which are we're going to be wrapping up the amazing county tournament, as you can see right in the middle of the table. We're going to talk about the county tournament stats. We're going to also talk about softball and soccer, golf, and bass fishing. But before we jump into action, be sure to hit that follow button so that you never miss out on an episode of Soaring Sports Podcast. And if you enjoy the show, please leave us a rating. It helps us review and it helps us bring you more fantastic content week after week. So with that, let's get right into it. I feel special sitting in front of these trophies right here, or sitting behind these trophies right here.
They're so beautiful.
Exactly.
They are very beautiful. We see the back, but they see the front. So
I would say
I'm enjoying the no words, no none, just straight wood.
I would say with those two state championships, it led to that trophy in the middle right there, and I feel like hopefully they have a very, very good chance until leading to a third to add on to those two up front on the sides. But we can jump straight into basketball. Speaking of those trophies, road to the rings, just kind of talk about the postseason mindset and all that.
So with like Matt mentioned, with the back-to-back state titles in Class 4A, that kind of led to these past couple years, we've been let down by Oxford, the county final. Well, not this year, and that led to that trophy sitting right there. So, it had a major factor, and those guys played out for it. But going into the postseason mindset, the games are winding down. The home games are winding down. I believe the last home game, for official home game, is this Friday night. It's actually tomorrow night, and we'll be behind the mic, and we can't wait to bring you that. But it's tomorrow night. That's the last, I believe, area game, and it's winding down. So, if you need the mindset at any time in the year, this is the time to have it, especially. So that this mindset's winding down. The postseason is coming up close, and it's weird because we always talk about how time flies when you're having fun. Well, time flies when you're winning, and that shows it. So that's a bit about it for the winding down wise.
Yeah, so, I remember before the White Plains game, we had won like 8 and 9 straight games.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 11-6, and then all of a sudden we just started picking up pace with was it 21-6 now? 21-6, somewhere around there. But talk about these boys proving people wrong, because it's hard to follow up in the footsteps that these just dominant teams came from. Talk about the strong prospects that we've produced, like Kate Phillips, the two Johnson twins, John Broom, Devin Barksdale's still working his way up to be also a top prospect from Jacksonville. So they had a lot on their shoulders, had a bunch of shoes to fill in, and they have been doing that successfully so far this season.
I will say around here, Calhoun County, anybody in the state of Alabama, Jacksonville is the spot for basketball, especially. Basketball has a bright future, and many more championships to come. So yeah, we can jump into the most recent games for the basketball team.
Yeah, so guys, the county tournament, like we talked about just a couple seconds ago, we were harping on it, has just officially been written in the record books. The Jacksonville games were outstanding with amazing crowds and amazing ball. The girls played Weaver and dominated in that one, and then the girls faced Oxford the next day and fell short of a Calhoun County championship appearance. They had an amazing run in the county tournament, but Oxford, man, they just showed up and showed out, and they, like I've said, they had it. They had the bench, so and that's fine. You go off of the county tournament. You come out. Get the win against Asheville. You get the win against White Plains. You just keep on going. But
yeah, I don't mean to interrupt you. I will say massive shout out to the girls team. I know they kind of started off rough the season, but these past couple of games, they have been on fire.
Oh, my God, absolutely.
It's only been one team that has stopped them so far, and it's the county champions in Oxford. And I know I saw earlier today they got some votes to be placed into the Class 4A rankings for the girls. So super, super proud. They have worked super, super hard, and we can't wait to when they get into the postseason and make a deep run themselves. So
I'm looking forward to that. And no need to be sorry to interrupt. That's a great point that he just made. Kind of like voting is an often occurrence in the HSAA. I've learned that over doing this. That is just something that we're all looking forward to, and I can't wait to see the college football, basketball rankings. They come out on Monday. Well, I just can't wait to see where we're ranked. And speaking of those rankings, the county tournament helped for, I guess, all teams really, win or lose. But, like you had mentioned, this past week for the girls has been outstanding. And that helped them a lot. That helped them tremendously.
Yeah, I just want to know what was said that caused that shift. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm just like towards the beginning of the season, I was looking at the scores and I was like, oh, it's getting rough. Like, in order to turn this around, like, something, I don't know what was said to them. I don't know what happened. I don't know where this fire came from, but that fire has just been ignited. They were blowing smoke. They were money from three. They were just all over the place, and these weren't just regular wins. These were blowouts.
Yeah.
And like, when I was sitting there and I'm looking at the scores and I'm just like, what happened?
Yeah.
And I'm just, it's like, it's amazing to see.
It is.
Like,
it is amazing to see.
Especially with the start that they had, being disappointed. I would hear Helena would walk into the first period, and she does that like every day because she likes to talk with Stearman. And they would talk about how they would always be frustrated at each other sometimes. The chemistry would be a bit iffy at some points, but now they're starting to click like that. And that's what you want, because the biggest thing is chemistry in the game of basketball. Or just anything in general at that point.
Yeah, just life in general, yeah.
Yeah. So we're very proud of these girls for the dominant wins that they had, and they were this close to a Calhoun County championship appearance, which is not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy at all.
Not easy at all.
And speaking of not being easy, let's go ahead and shift from the girls to the guys. The reason that trophy is sitting right where it is in
trophies
in Jacksonville, Alabama, in Jacksonville High School. So the Jacksonville Golden Eagle varsity boys played an amazing 3 games to advance to their 3rd straight Calhoun County championship appearance. For the 3rd year in a row, we have faced the Oxford Yellow Jackets. The first 2 years of this matchup came down to the wire by fouling to stop the clock in a last-minute buzzer beater. The same outcome 2 years in a row. It played out the exact same way, fell short. But not this year. Definitely not this year. We wasn't going to have that this year. Jacksonville Golden Eagles soared in this past week's championship game in amazing fashion. To put that into perspective, Oxford only scored 13 points in the second half. 13 points in the second half.
Yeah.
God.
Okay, to put this in, and this is not in the notes, but to put this into another perspective, I had, in my notes that I was writing down at the media table that night, I was like, Oxford's 3-point game is outstanding. And then in the second half, I changed it to Oxford's 3-point game was outstanding in the second half because they were not shooting anything in the first half. So put that into perspective too, and then put up this also into perspective. Jacksonville Golden Eagles put 21 on them in the second half. So 13-21, that's a big deficit right there. But, as the clock hit 0, we captured our first Calhoun County championship title in 29 years. We were celebrating not only because we broke a 19-game winning streak for the Yellow Jackets in that tournament to Pete, but we won the county tournament. The county tournament, and we
2 W's in one game.
2 W's in one game. We wanted it and we got it, but we are extremely honored today to have like I said, the Calhoun County trophy right there, shaped like Calhoun County, and the back-to-back state titles right here in front of us as we're bringing you this today. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up with basketball. Talk about the Calhoun County tournament stats for the boys. The boys had. Now, this is covering all games, not just one. The boys had 15 threes, 29 fouls, 23 free throws, and 0 dunks. So, but Chop Nixon went for a dunk and missed it, but that's okay. That's fine.
It's not about dunk, it's about the points that's made.
That's right. The opponents for the boys scored 8 threes, had 21 fouls, 30 free throws, and 3 dunks. Now, for the girls had 5 threes, 12 free throws, 11 fouls. Our opponents, the girls, had 5 threes, 17 fouls, and 10 free throws. So that is your Calhoun County stats, and we're going to close the book on the county championship, and we just want to say, wow. That's how I'm going to leave that, is wow, and look forward to next year.
Absolutely. Super proud of both teams. I'm super excited for what they're going to do here in the postseason against their respective opponents. And I'm super excited. Hopefully we could both see them in Birmingham in March.
Buddy, how would that feel?
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
It'd be like Oxford. Oxford didn't leave the Pete that Friday afternoon because, the girls played and then the guys played. So I would love to stay at BJCC all day long. I'd love it. Call it a knee day. Put that in there for the knee day. But we're going to go ahead and jump into the upcoming spring sports. Softball. These girls have had an amazing start to their season. They look forward to their first game in the Woodland Park tournament on February 16th through the 17th. I stayed in the parking lot the other day as I was getting ready to leave, and they all was taking their bags up. Well, some of them were out there. I've got to guess 20 or 30 minutes earlier, just throwing softballs, and that's just dedication. That just shows in itself. They're ready to go. They are ready to go.
It shows a character perspective from just as a first-year head coach and coach after what he's led, and just preach to those young women out there working hard to make sure they have the best season so far and bouncing back from that playoff loss last year. So
yeah, that was a big day in Jacksonville High School history when the drumline led them out the hallway and everybody pumped and they come home sad. We're like, don't be sad. You guys had an amazing season that you guys can cap it off of. And speaking of this, I hate to go off course, but this just wrapped around my mind. Capping off, we lost to Anniston basketball at home. And Matt, you got all the things on the Anniston game at the Pete, so I'm going to let you run with this one. I totally forgot about this, so we're going to go off track for just a second.
Yeah, so for the Anniston game, that happened, that was the semifinal game for the winner will play in a spot for the Calhoun County Championship. The boys had 8 threes made, 15 fouls, and 10 free throws. If you're Coach Beerson, you don't want to be as happy with the fouls, but they definitely hit as much threes, and they made the free throws. So, yeah, super proud. And we can go back to softball.
Yeah, so I appreciate you for that. I totally forgot about that. I'm super sorry for that. But we're going to go ahead and, as we wrap up softball, we're going to talk about soccer. Ryan, I know you have a lot of guys with the soccer team, and I know you have a lot of information and a lot of soccer players. So hit it in the goal and go for it.
Hit it in the goal. I see what you did there.
There you go.
Slick, buddy. But yeah, they have been talking about it nonstop, about all the practices that they've been doing, all the conditioning, and specifically a bunch of seniors have been talking about it because obviously, I'm in a class with a bunch of seniors, so obviously we're going to be talking about it.
You're a senior.
Yeah, you already know. And I also have a class with Mr. Pat Main, Keith Main. Keith is not in the class, but he pops in there every now and then, and they'll be talking about soccer. But the people that I mainly hear from is from Peyton Sproul and Louis Biddix. That's who I mainly hear it from. I also hear it from people that tried out at the game. Mm-hmm. Logan Mitchell, all the other seniors that tried out but unfortunately didn't make it. So they're just very excited for their upcoming game against Donahoe. That's going to be like the mood setting. Like, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
They're just very excited for their game. They've been talking about practice a lot. All the scrimmages that they've been doing, they've just been amped up about it. And Peyton said that he was a bit sore, and I was like, that's how you know you've been putting in that work. Because if you're sore, then that's how you know that you've been working hard and that's what you want to see in your team. So yeah, it's just a bunch of anticipation. That's all it is, and that's really how it is for most spring sports right now. It's not really playing yet, but it's just a bunch of anticipation. I know that golf is also anticipating games. We also have a couple seniors on there. Reagan Hammock is one of them, and they've been preparing. They started practices last week, and they've been grinding since. And I don't know how they grind this cold weather, dude. This cold, what was it, like 11 degrees last week?
11 degrees
last week. It was rough.
Oh my Lord.
Wow.
But yeah, both soccer and golf have just been, they've been grinding in, and they've been put in that work and anticipating their first matchup.
Speaking of putting in work, we have fifth period athletic PE, and we are, our first year strength and conditioning coordinator, Coach Brian Owens. He has done an amazing job. He previously just got certified, and he's been certified before, but I can't remember the name. But it was a long name. He just got certified for another thing. So
for USA, it was a USA Olympics weightlifting training.
Yes. So USA weightlifting training, and he has just done an amazing job with those guys and girls. And people's like, oh man, Coach Owens this, Coach Owens, he's this great guy. He is an amazing coach, and he does amazing in fifth period. He loves that fifth period group.
Oh yes.
There's got to be 100 guys in there, and probably 20 girls, or how many other people in there.
Yeah.
And they work out and they grind.
Which I kind of speak to you, or speak off that, Matt. Coach Owens has pushed us to our limits. Like, for example, I know some of the guys are like, I don't feel like working out today. And then you go up there and you see 6 sets of back squat. And when you see that, Coach Owens is like, you better give it your best. You go to as hard as you possibly can, 110% for 45 minutes. And that's what we absolutely do. And we get after. We don't settle down. We should get after every day.
Yeah.
So.
And you get the 45 minutes, and then you get lunch afterwards. So, you work, and then you get to reward yourself for a little bit. Not too much. So, speaking of rewarding, I hope that we are awarded a spot in the state title for all these spring sports. But we're going to go ahead and wrap up the last topic with bass fishing. Jacksonville High School Bass Fishing Club, we are exactly 1 week away. Let's see, I leave, it is 12/13. Yeah, I leave next week at about 1-ish. So we're about an hour and 1 week away from traveling down to Jackson's Gap, Alabama, and that's where we will stay for the first weekend of February. The tournament will take place on Lake Martin, and will be held on February 2nd, February 3rd. We're preparing, and when I say preparing, I mean, we're rigging up fishing rods, we're mapping out the lake, we're cleaning the boat, we're getting all that stuff ready, but we're so excited. We're ready to hit the water and go fish for a spot in the state championship. You have to finish in the top 15 in one of 5 or 6 tournaments to fish the state title. And we're hoping to win a Bassmaster High School championship. So we'll see about that. And I think, to wrap all this up, I just wanted to thank the school board for letting us, use these trophies this morning. Dr. Russell Waits for letting us use the county tournaments. Miss Wilson and the administrations and the office aides for allowing us to use the back-to-back state title trophies. But there's a spot open, and I believe that we can get this going. And with that being said, we kind of did this last year as the mid-season was winding down. As seniors, how do y'all feel that the back-to-back team is going for a state title again? And this is y'all's last year in this high school. How do y'all feel?
It would be an amazing send-off.
Absolutely.
Because think about it. Obviously, we've been through a lot since we came here in 7th grade. We had 8th grade. All of a sudden, COVID struck. Some of us had to be out for the whole, obviously, we thought it was going to be extended spring break. Woohoo, yay!
Yeah.
Turned into 2 years later. And I came back in 10th grade. And it was a perfect time to come back because that's when we won the first state title, which was 2022. And then the next one, and now we're going for another one. So ever since I have come back from quarantine, we have been contending for and have won 2 state titles and contending for another one.
Yeah.
And if we were somehow managed to go back to back, that would be an amazing send-off for this group of guys that we have.
Yeah, I think it'll be an amazing send-off for the other guys that are actually on the team and work for that every day. And like I said, we're super, super proud, and we can't wait to support you out through and through, including the boys and the girls.
Yeah, absolutely, boys and girls.
So
yeah. Both teams. Like you said, the rankings will come out, and people are voting for a spot. So we'll see. We'll find out. And but here's the upcoming schedule. I kind of got it mixed up last week, and that's on me. This next week, we're going to talk about the schedules and how they have been posted and on Golden Eagle Media's social media outputs, and how we're going to break them down. Not going to be too long of an episode, but it may be a little lengthy.
Yeah.
And then the next week, I am looking for a special guest to come on and join. So We'll see. We'll find out. But, guys, that's a wrap for this week's episode of Soaring Sports Podcast. We want to thank all the athletes and the amazing fans for sharing their insight into Golden Eagle sports and for giving us an inside look at their day-by-day. We hope you've enjoyed taking flight into Jacksonville High School sports with us. And don't forget to follow, rate, and review our podcast. Your support means the absolute world to us. And we can't do this and we can't bring these amazing trophies in here without you. Until next time, keep cheering for Jacksonville High School teams and athletes. And remember, in a world of high school sports, every victory, every defeat, and every moment counts. Keep soaring. Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.